Welcome back to Mrs. Wizard's Way, and where are we at? Well, we're in my back corner of the Wizard shop, and I've got some really cool things I've been making that you gotta check out. Let's get started. So as you guys know, I'm an art teacher. That's what I've spent the last 26 years doing, been an artist, and quitting my job was great. I really appreciate not having two jobs, working at the shop and working at school. So having just down to one job has been a blessing. However, was finding, as I was kind of finding my way in what I was doing, because I had to reinvent who I was, because so much of it was tied to teaching. So much was a creative part, and I was missing that. I was missing that creating and making and doing and problem solving, and I started thinking, what can I do? And then I was like, hey, we have a whole bunch of stuff that I think could be fun. And we had just gotten done with that transmission. It was still pieces and parts because we had taken it apart. We're in our recycle bin. I started looking and I was like, I could do some stuff with this. This is pretty cool. What could I do with these things? So I started thinking and started creative problem solving. And let me show you. So this is one of the items that I've made, and it is a spindle used to hold gears in the transmission and put a different base on it. I love mixing and matching things, and so this was just the base I found. It was just a metal base. Could have held a figurine on it, so I basically drilled a hole in it, glued it in place. I did buff. I like to leave some of the patina on here, some of that. You can look in there and see there's some of the staining from the transmission fluid that was in there. Also, maybe you'll find, if you're lucky, you can get a piece or part that had where it actually broke and it's kind of got a gouge in it. But I do seal them. So some of it I do clean up, and I'll show you the tools I use for that in just a second. But I do seal all of them with a clear coat, so nothing can be coming off, and nothing can, it's not, these are not oily and drippy anymore. I run them through the parts washer. I use brake cleaner on them, and they get clean. But this is one that I thought could be an interesting, maybe a candy dish for like a man cave. Okay, that'd be fun. This is one of my favorite ones, and this boy is a heavy guy, and it does have a clock in the center, and it's very fun to place it. You have to push from the back and slide it in, so it's kind of annoying. So luckily it shouldn't need batteries replaced terribly often. I haven't actually pulled the back slide out to actually start the battery even on it, because it's got, it's one of those things you order from Amazon. But this is definitely cool, and look at the back. You can definitely see that oil staining within there, and again, it is sealed, it's not dripping or anything. And again, has a fun base on it. Again, I've buffed that, polished it, and this is basically bolted to this bottom piece. But again, it's done well. You're not gonna notice it. This will look nice on a shelf. Could you imagine this on your desk? I think this is a great conversation piece. I do have a couple of little lamps, and this one has a cute little LED bulb on the top. That's really nice. Again, lots of spindles because it's called a transmission. The other one I really like, this is one of my favorite ones. And it was one of the first pieces I actually made. And this actually, it has an LED light in there, and so it actually shines down. The other one shined up, but this one shines down, and had to find the different pieces and parts to cover up that part, because there's a little bit of wiring that goes there. Needed to cover, but again, this is the base to a lamp. So it already came with the hole where the cord comes out. I had to do all the wiring and all that, but I thought this guy is great. Now don't think I'm forgetting the ladies out there, okay? I know there's a lot of guys who watch my channel, but don't worry, I did not forget you ladies. I have custom, and none of these no two things on this channel are ever gonna be the same. I have a couple that look similar, but nothing's gonna be the same. Ring holders. You recognize this guy? Yeah, this is the lug nuts off of Wizard's truck. I'm slowly pulling them off. I've got 2 taken off so far. I can work on a few more, but he's definitely gonna have to put, he's planning on new lug nuts anyway, but he better not take it out for, well, there's no engine's not installed, so he can't take it out for a drive. But got that crackle finish paint that we used on the Ferrari's valve covers. And it comes with a nice kind of a ceramic on the bottom. I have them numbered because they do look very much the same. But nice little, it could be holding a watch, but again, nicely sealed. And I said I had 2. Here's its cousin. And they do happen to look alike because I found a couple of these are former coasters, and this is a different kind of coaster that they've been glued together. And so this looks good, nice, and ready to go for rings, watches, whatever. And then I'm gonna take camera off because I gotta show you these up close. I have a lot of earrings, and these are small sections, the gears. So I just cut a little piece of a gear, and then I add a different hardware to it. And I also got to play with the torch, which was a way fun, so I could heat them and get different coloring. So I have one that I heated to a yellow, got some that I've got barely just a little bit of color on. Then I've got a couple of them that have gone just perfectly nice, kind of that purple patina. Got a couple, this one and this one, the blue ones, are just silver. They've just got a different texture on them. So where am I working? Well, I'm working in the back corner of the wizard shop. And so I've kind of taken over this back corner. He wasn't using it anyway. It was just storage of junk and, extra, school tables that we ordered way too many of. But I also commandeered the Flexi Spot table that we just did an ad for. This thing is really nice. I have a self-healing mat where I can cut on. One thing I found to be extra handy is one of these. This is just well, it's not the prettiest anymore, especially, but it's a green silicone trivet, kind of a pot holder, but it works great because it's rubbery, it's heat resistant, so if I'm working on something and it's hot or it's warm, it's got grip to it, so it doesn't twist and turn. So this has been a really good, helpful thing. Another thing that I have is I do have a Dremel with a flex shaft on it, so I can be working and not have to be tied to holding a big Dremel or working just with bigger tools. So I do have a small tool. Of course, these little wire brushes are absolutely evil, and so I'm constantly wearing my goggles because the little wires are in there, but they like to fling off every now and again. And so definitely like having a little protection on, and I also have some ear protection as well because it gets kind of noisy over here. Have a drill with a nice little gripper, kind of, it cleans up things great. Got a wire brush that I can use as well. I've got different things I can incorporate. I've got a whole set for Dremel with all the different cutting discs and polishing tools as well. Even before I quit teaching, I love to make earrings, and I'm ironically not wearing any today, but I do have a lot of different earrings. And so what did I do? A lot with beads. I have a whole basket of beads, and that's where the beads on the earrings that you saw earlier, that's where I got them from. So I've brought my bead collection to the shop. There we go. No more Newton. He's getting my videos too. Sorry guys, let him go by. Every day. I also have a polishing wheel. I have red rouge and green rouge on here. And when I was in college, I loved a jewelry class I took. I loved the silversmithing. I loved working with all the different options and possibilities of what it could be, using a torch. It was just fun, and I wanted to get back to it. And I never could, possibly because I was working on becoming a teacher. I was in the classroom, then I had kids, and then life, and then the shop and the videos. There was no room left to ever get back to that love of making jewelry, other than maybe the occasional day I was making things with beads. But it wasn't the same. It wasn't fun with tools and fire. So I'm back to doing that now, and I really am having fun. I'm always scoping out little things. What can I work with? The boys in the shop, they'll find different parts for me. Hey, I think this could work for you. Hey, that could work for you. So I'm really working on what can I do and what kind of things can I work with. I've been having to go to either estate sales, garage sales, Goodwill, antique stores, looking for some of the parts and things I need to go with the car parts. Let me show you my stash of goodies. So it's kind of on a low table, but this is my stash of stuff. So I found this guy, just haven't decided what I'm going to do with him yet. Haven't got the right piece or part, but my vision would be I'd end up having to drill into this and put something on it. So this could be a base. Need lots of bases. Found a couple of pieces with marble. This used to be a very, very ugly lamp. But I love the base. Got it for like $2.50. Marble for $2.50. So I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I'm waiting. I I just went to a garage sale last weekend and I got this for $5. Gas cap to a 72 Mustang. It was cruddy when I got it, but I cleaned it up. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I have an idea, but I just haven't fleshed it out enough. I haven't had time to work on it. I literally had time to clean it, and that was about it. But I've got other pieces, got fun clocks. I don't think this one really works, but aesthetically it's really interesting. I've got, this came out of a Ferrari, California. I haven't fully figured out what I'm gonna do with this. Daniel gave me this one, but I'm gonna work on it. Even Grimes gave me, this is the, from the Bentley Speed Continental that we had, the steering control. I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with the circuitry board, but I love the idea. It has some lovely color to it that the metal doesn't have. So that is where I'm at with all the fun findings and everything, but I'll keep working on it. Depending on how well this goes, I might even shoot you guys a video or two on how I actually go from all of these pieces and bits to a final project. So hey, thanks for joining me in my corner of the world. I really appreciate you guys staying with me today. Let me know what you think of what I've been creating. I think some really good pieces for a man cave. And if you're looking for something for that car girl enthusiast in your life, she may not appreciate gears and spindles, but hey, those were some pretty fun earrings. I thought I'd wear them. If I make it to where I think they're cool. So let me know what you guys think. If you haven't subscribed, love for you to do that. Otherwise, I gotta get going. I got more things to make. See ya.